Hi guys, and welcome back. This video is going to be about a subject that some people feel uncomfortable talking about, but it's a natural part of being human or alive, not just for humans, and that is sex and what happens with energy when you have sex. So if you're interested, keep watching. So welcome back. This isn't going to get all heavy and dark and scary and freaky because I actually don't believe in that, but I do want to talk about the energy exchange that happens when people are intimate together and have a sexual relationship. You know, it doesn't mean you get automatically completely polluted with every person you've ever been with, but if you do connect a bit more deeply and emotionally to the person, there is an exchange of emotional energy, and yeah, that can sometimes stick around a little bit, you know, for a while until you become aware of it or release it and things like that. But that is not a dark and evil thing, and I believe everything happens for a reason, including that. So we tend to be attracted to people who have something to show us or to teach us, and that if we're taking on some sort of weird energy from somebody, that's probably something that we can transmute and are capable of transmuting. But I do want to caution people that there is an exchange there. I feel it's something that happens more with women because it's more receiving the energy for them, whereas men are more pushing the energy out. That's in a heterosexual relationship. In non-heterosexual, it would work that where one person is giving, well, pushing out the energy more sexually, is maybe a little bit more assertive sexually, and the same thing would happen even though they're the same sex. But for heterosexual people, yeah, I do think women tend to take on a bit more there, and because women connect more strongly emotionally when they have, you know, intimate relations with somebody, that, yeah, it does affect them a bit stronger, whereas I think men find it generally a bit easier to not get as emotionally in there as fast. That doesn't mean they don't, and some do quite quickly, but quite often it can take a little bit longer for them to make that emotional connection to another person. So yeah, I think for women, it's just be aware of who and what you're connecting with, and for men also, you know, if you're with somebody who's I don't know, just where it doesn't feel right, where it doesn't feel good to connect with that person, that's probably not a good idea to be intimate with them either. You know, you need to be able to feel good with the person you do that with and feel in harmony with them, not just physically but also on other levels. So do listen to your heart with that, because it can take a little bit of time to transmute what you've taken on. And for women especially, you know, I mean, I know some women now can do the, I've met them, they've come to see me, and they're very cut and dried about it. Like, they say things like, I'm going to go out and score tonight and stuff like that. But that's still the minority. I feel a lot of women are still more emotionally orientated, and through that emotional connection they take on stuff. So be very aware of that. If you do feel yuck and you have been with somebody and you feel a bit off afterwards and things like that, it's good to get grounded. Literally go and hug a tree or sit on the ground or walk around barefoot and let some of that energy just move out of you. Another nice one is actually Epsom salt baths or showers. It's a really good energy cleanser. Epsom salts are just wonderful at that. It literally leaves your aura, your energy field, quite sparkly when you use Epsom salt. So I highly recommend that. Grounding and just becoming aware of it. You know, you might even sort of have a few thoughts where you think, where'd that come from? Was that my thought? I don't normally think like that, and that is where the energy transference has happened. So it can be quite powerful. As you see with couples who've been together for a long time, they're very connected, and they'll quite often know what the other person is kind of thinking or going to say next without needing to wait and see what it is. So that's where they're just energetically really linked. And often women also know what's going on with people around them anyway, and some men do too. I'm not being sexist here. I just feel that women in general, and that's very general, are more emotionally connected a lot faster than men are. I mean, I've seen men get themselves into all sorts of trouble because they were having straightforward, simple one night stands, and then the woman gets angry at them. That's basically what's happened. You know, you've got to be a little bit more aware when you're doing things like that and make sure that the other person knows what it's about and what the deal is. So yeah, but yeah, if you have had an unpleasant relationship, for example, something a bit more than a short connection, I mean, I don't bother with those short things anymore because it's just not worth it. I can't be bothered dealing with all that energy, you know. So, but yeah, if you've had a relationship that's been quite painful and quite toxic, or maybe, you know, you've been with a narcissist or somebody abusive, women often hold that pain in their second chakra, which can cause hormonal difficulties, fibroids, all sorts of health issues for women in that area. So if you've been with somebody like that, it's really important to, you know, get some validation, get some acknowledgement, get some counseling, get some help, get some healing, find ways to validate your feelings so that you don't hold any sort of feelings about that are not positive for you in that area anymore. I mean, straight after, everybody feels angry or hurt or upset, but there does need to be healing if you don't want to have the after effects of those sort of things. For men, quite often it can be similar, especially sensitive men, you know, they take it on there too, whereas less sensitive men tend to take it on in the solar plexus, where they feel disempowered somehow or not recognized or acknowledged, and it can disempower them at a solar plexus level. So the same cleansing techniques are really, really good for men in that sense, and also just making sure that their energy clears and that they can let go of that stuff so you don't have, you know, energy problems later on. It's like heartbreak. You know, it's an emotion, it's a feeling, but a lot of people actually really do feel it as a physical ache in their chest. It's a restriction. It's like the energy's tight, and you know, that can take some time to allow that to open up and flower again, and to have the chakra operating properly again, because it's, yeah, it's been at that unpleasant stage. So yeah, breathing into your chakras is really good. Doing some color breathing, like sit, close your eyes. Like for your heart, it's either pink or green, depending on how you're feeling. Breathe in that color, pink or green or whatever works for you. Imagine you're breathing it in through the top of your head and out through your chakra, or if it's another chakra that you feel's been affected, use the appropriate color for that, and that'll help clear them and get them flowing a bit better again, because yeah, a heartache can be quite painful and can cause issues there, and sometimes it'll actually cause problems between the shoulder blades too, because it's the back of the chakra, and people quite often stash pain in there and then they end up with pain between the shoulders. And yeah, it's the same thing really. It's about clearing that, releasing that, and doing things you enjoy too, like dancing, creating, painting, writing, making music, going for walks in nature. Whatever gets you really cranking, that will release a lot of that built up energy. But I just wanted to talk about this because I get quite a few sort of private questions which I can't publicly answer in the feed. You know, people message them to me about those sort of things, and I wanted to bring that up, that yes, we transfer energy when we're intimate with another person, but it doesn't have to be a long-term thing, and it's not like a curse. It is something we're capable of transmuting and releasing, and we don't need to hold it on to us or into us forever. You know, it is something that will pass, but just being aware of it's a good idea. You know, mixing your energy when you're trying to grow with somebody whose energy is quite dysfunctional can feel kind of quite unpleasant, you know, and yeah, it's probably not a good idea to be intimate with somebody like that. Let them grow, be their friend, be there for them, encourage them, whatever. But yeah, let them work through their stuff before you go to that physical level of connecting like that. So I don't know if this has helped. Please let me know if you have any ideas or thoughts about this or would like to know more. I do feel it's something magical and beautiful when two people really care about each other. It is a real connection, a really deep and spiritual and special connection. When the connection is at a really good level and it's not about need or domination or any of that, then it's genuine sharing from the heart and something quite magical. And that sort of energy exchange actually doesn't leave residues because it's moving. The whole cycle is moving, it's in constant flow, so nothing actually kind of gets stuck. But it's a nice experience. So anyway, lots of love, and I hope you enjoyed this slightly off topic video, and I'll see you all in my next one.